ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste, my dear friends. I am going to give this video on Tattva Bodha of Adi Shankaracharya. This is a very good book on Advaita Vedanta. This video starts with desire. Instinct is natural to animals as well as human beings. Certain instincts, such as physical or biological needs, are natural, while others are cultivated on the basis of past experience or predetermined notions. The instinct of a cow to go towards a man holding a bunch of grass is a cultivated instinct of pursuing what is desirable, pravritti, and so is the instinct of going away, nivritti, from an angry man holding a stick. Both are based on past experience. Human being is distinguished from an animal because he possesses thinking faculty which is absent in animals. Out of thinking arises discrimination, the ability to differentiate between good and bad, pleasure and pain, desirable and undesirable. Of course, this is relative and based on one's own predetermined notions or background. Out of this thinking faculty and discrimination arises desire to seek something that promises one's betterment or improvement. By nature, a human being is incomplete or imperfect, and he is aware of it, self-conscious of it. Therefore, there is a natural urge to seek completeness, and thus results the desire to be different from or better than what one presently is. Thus, desire is a natural urge of the mind, just as hunger or breathing is a natural urge of the body. One has to fulfill a natural urge which, however, always recurs and can never be fulfilled. Thus, as long as one's mind is active, except in deep sleep state, or one is conscious of the mind, the desire to be better and complete will always be there, and this desire, like other natural urges, can never be fulfilled until one becomes complete. It is found from observation and experience that our attempts to fulfill desires lead to more desires, thus leading us to endless gyrations till death. Vedanta is the study to explore, understand, and practice the proper means to fulfill the desire to be complete or perfect. Limitation of action. One can grow out of a meaningless desire in the light of the knowledge that it is impossible to fulfill it. But this does not apply to natural desires such as physical or biological needs or mental needs. Since the desire to be complete or perfect is a natural and universal desire, one cannot grow out of it in spite of the knowledge that it cannot be fulfilled by any actions. This natural desire to be better and complete induces one to perform actions at the end of which the desire still remains unfulfilled. At the end of an action or acquisition, one is still discontented or unhappy. Why do all these struggles fail to fulfill this innate desire? The answer is that the desire to be complete can only be satisfied if one can achieve completeness. However, completeness or perfection can only be achieved by an infinite gain, and because every action, every gain, every acquisition is finite, the sum of even a series of actions does not equal infinity. For example, one is as far as away from infinity when one possesses 1 rupee as when one possesses 1000 rupees or a million or a billion rupees. The same is true with objective knowledge and emotions. As one progresses in acquisition of more and more knowledge about the world, one can become aware of more and more ignorance. The truth is that the efforts to be complete or free from limitations are bound by the nature's law of cause and effect. Every effort of an action is limited, and according to the law, a limited effort can only produce a limited result. For being complete or perfect, an unlimited effort or action is required. But no action or a series of finite actions is infinite, and therefore action cannot lead to perfection. Then what to do? If action does not fulfill the desire, should we stop acting? But that is against human nature, because as said in Bhagavad Gita, everyone is helplessly made to act by nature. At the same time, everything that is created has a purpose. So the desire to be perfect must also have a purpose, and there must be a way out. Accomplishment of the accomplished. Every act is performed to accomplish something, and three factors are involved in this process: the thing to be accomplished, sadhya, the means of accomplishment, sadhana, and the person who strives to accomplish sadhaka. By a proper and an adequate effort, prayatna, one can accomplish anything that is unaccomplished. Asiddhasya siddhi, asiddhasya siddhi. However, no effort or action is required to accomplish that which is already accomplished. I need not make any effort to acquire a head over my shoulders. Completeness or perfection falls in the category of the already accomplished, and no action or effort is required to accomplish it. Any effort spent with that objective is obviously in vain. But what is the already accomplished as applied to perfection? It is like a key bunch that is in one's pocket while one is searching all over to find it. Finally, when one finds the key bunch, it is like the accomplishment of the accomplished. It is not the action of searching the keys everywhere that led one to find them, but it is the realization that the bunch was in the pocket. The story of the 10th man is very appropriate. 10 young boys who went out for a picnic had to cross a river. They decided to swim across. At the end, the leader of the group counted the members to make sure everybody has reached safely. Upon counting, he found only 9 boys. He was much worried and asked another boy to count. He also counted 9. They were all afraid that one of them was drowned in the river and frantically started searching for the missing 10th man. All their efforts were in vain. Finally, an old man, watching them crying, approached them and asked what was bothering them. Upon being told that one of the boys was missing, the old man figured out what the problem was. He asked the leader to count them once again, and when he counted only 9, the old man told him that the leader himself was the 10th man. Dvam Dasamosi. The problem was every time someone counted the boys, he did not include himself in the count. Within an instant, the boys realized what the mistake was and were happy once again. It was not the action that provided the boys with the missing man, but the realization or the knowledge that the one who counted was himself the missing man. All the time he was searching for himself, and no amount of action of searching would reveal the sought. Achieving perfection is the achievement of the already achieved. The only reason why one is not able to experience perfection is ignorance, ajnana. Ignorance is like darkness which prevents us from seeing or experiencing what is in front. It also leads us to mistake the truth as false. Just as a man mistakes a rope for snake in darkness. This mistake in turn causes illegitimate problems such as fear, snake bite, pain, etc., which only exist in the mind and which cannot be cured unless the mistake is realized. Thus, the imaginary pain of the snake bite and resulting misery can be cured only when one is made to realize the falsehood of the snake or the reality of the rope. Once this knowledge is gained, then rope can never be mistaken for a snake. Thus, the removal of pain is accomplished without a process of change, that is, without any treatment or effort. Search for perfection is also similar. One is ignorant of the fact that one is already perfect, and therefore all the efforts to accomplish what is already accomplished are in vain. What is needed is the knowledge of Tattvam Asi, or that thou art. Thou art indeed that perfection thou has been searching for. Ignorance is keeping the seeker away from what is sought. Although both are identical, not action, but knowledge is the means of such an accomplishment. The teaching, the teacher, and the taught. The Santra, the Shastra dealing with the method of gaining the knowledge to achieve perfection is Vedanta. Vedanta is not a book but the knowledge which is beginningless, anadi, and therefore created by the same Father who created the universe. In the ancient times, it did not exist as a book or books but was traditionally transmitted verbally from teacher to taught. This tradition is called Karna Parampara. Karna Parampara. Vedanta also includes Yoga Shastra, the science of yoga. Yoga is a method by which one attains a proper state of mind that is necessary to receive the knowledge. However, yoga is not knowledge. The teacher who has the vision and experience of perfection reveals the knowledge to the student. Such a fit teacher is called Guru. Guru is the one who destroys Gu, the darkness, Ru of the ignorance. The Guru not only has the ability to reveal the knowledge to the disciple, but he is also the ocean of sympathy. With patience, kindness, and sympathy, he imparts the teaching to the student. The tradition of the Guru Parampara is also beginningless, anadi, since every Guru was once a disciple of his Guru. Thus, the first Guru who revealed the knowledge must be the creator of the universe. A fit student is called Shishya, Shikshana Yoga, one who is fit to receive the teaching. Necessary preparation is required on the part of the student before a teacher can impart the teaching. The student is also required to have an implicit faith in the Shastra as well as the Guru until the truth is discovered. This faith which is coupled This faith which is coupled with conviction is called Shraddha, knowledge. Two factors are required to gain the knowledge. Prama of an object. Number one, the object prameya. And two, the valid means of knowledge pramana. Thus, in order to gain the knowledge of a pot, one, the pot should be present within the scope of perception, and two, the eyes backed by the attention of the mind, because all knowledge takes place in the mind, should be functioning. If eyes alone are functioning but the mind is not present, the knowledge of pot cannot take place. In this case, eyes and the mind together form the valid means of knowledge, pramana, and the pot is the thing to be known, parmeya. The knower of the pot is called pramata. The knowledge, prama, is of two types. Number one, pratyaksha or direct. Number two, proksha or indirect. The knowledge of the pot gained by looking at it is the direct knowledge. However, if the pot is not present within the sight of the individual, then the knowledge obtained by listening to its description is indirect knowledge. Or even if the pot is present within the viewing range but the eyes are not functioning, then the knowledge gained through touch, smell, etc. is also indirect. For direct knowledge, a valid means of knowledge must be available. For example, ears are not a valid means to gain the direct knowledge of the color of an object. When the parmeya and the pramana are present, the knowledge occurs instantaneously and definitely. Seeing a pot is an instantaneous process. No action is involved in the process of knowledge because it is only involves the it only involves the operation of the means of knowledge. Ignorance also deprives us of means of knowledge. We may have heard a great deal about a person but have not seen him, and even if we happen to be in his presence by a chance, we do not gain the knowledge of his presence. We are ignorant of the person because we have not seen him before. As soon as someone informs us that the person we were looking for is right in front of us, an instant knowledge is revealed to us. Here, the words of the informer become the means of knowledge or pramana. Only direct knowledge is complete. The knowledge obtained through reading or hearing about an object or a place is incomplete because the picture formed in our mind depends upon our past impressions and our judgment. The picture formed in different minds from the same description is generally different. The fact of our being complete or perfect is not experienced by us because of ignorance. Just as the eyes cannot see themselves, the sense organs and the mind cannot see the self. A pratyaksha pramana or a means of knowledge that provides direct and immediate knowledge is required. Vedanta is such a means of knowledge because it provides direct and immediate knowledge of the self by which we can experience completeness or perfection. The Vedas and Vedanta. Vedanta contains words which reveal the truth. It is a valid means of knowledge that provides direct experience of one's state of perfection. The reason why the words of Vedanta can provide direct knowledge is that it concerns the achievement of the already achieved. Just as the tenth man realized immediately from the words, "You are the tenth man," one gains the perception of the self from the words of Vedanta. In the case of the knowledge of self, the Parmeya is present within our reach, but the Pramana is normally absent. Vedanta, through its words of knowledge, provides the Pramana. The knowledge of the self gained through the words of Vedanta is direct and immediate, like the knowledge of the pot by seeing it. There is only one way of knowing the perfect self, and Vedanta provides that. Although Vedanta is verbal, it gives rise to direct perception, similar to that of the tenth man by the words. Vedanta literally means the end of Vedas, and that is what it is. Each of the four Vedas, Rik, Yajus, Sama, and Atharva, can be divided into two sections, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Vedas are Prachina, beginningless, and contain the knowledge that was directly revealed by the Creator. This knowledge has been transmitted from teachers to their students since time immemorial. The knowledge was transmitted to qualified students worthy of receiving this Prachina knowledge. Such a student is called Prachina Yoga. The Karma Kanda of the Vedas describes different deities, the rituals to be performed, and the methods of performing them to achieve various ends for worldly gains or for material gains hereafter. No explanation or causes for the rituals or the deities is provided in the Vedas because these cannot be perceived or comprehended by the human intellect, and therefore these rituals are accepted without questioning. By performing the rituals as specified, one accumulates punya, which is in the form of subtle thoughts that would result into a subtle gain. What can be conceived by the human mind, such as discoveries of objective sciences, is not provided in the Vedas. The gains achieved by performing the rituals of the Karma Kanda are utilization in nature and therefore do not provide ultimate happiness. Karma Kanda is a pramana to achieve these ends by invoking the Devam, which is not within the control of human beings. On the other hand, Jnana Kanda, which is relatively a small section at the end of the Vedas, has only one end, the achievement of the perfect self. Because the Jnana Kanda is at the end of the Vedas, it is called Vedanta. The knowledge of Vedanta is not a means for some other end but the end in itself. So, This introductory part of Tattva Bodha ends here. Now, in the next video, I will start with Tattva Bodha. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar, my dear.